Informed.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Burby's 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
Guyana, join me on the Lall Show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:20 p.m. and a rebroadcast at 11 a.m. The Lall Show only on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM.
You're listening to us right here on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. It is 20 minutes after 7 o'clock, and it is time for the Lall Show. Crimes, starvation, hardships, suffering, and poverty are all on the rise, and the leaders are ignoring us. It is time for the rebroadcast of the Lall Show. This program was first aired on the 30th of August, 2021, and as you know, Mr. Lall is out Mr. Lall is away, and he has instructed us to play programs, or rebroadcasted programs, until he is back. And we would like to play this one for you this evening. And we hope that you pay keen attention and encourage your friends and family that they can join us for the rebroadcast. It is time for That Such Rebroadcast.
Crimes, Joshua. Starvation, Miss Harris. Hardship, suffering, and poverty are all on the rise in this land. And the leaders are just ignoring the signs. The greatest gift, Miss Harris, you can give to any human being is knowledge.
Powerful.
Yes, knowledge is 1,000,000 times more important than paisa, money. For quite a while, I haven't felt proud of myself. And I must confess this to all Guyana, right across this land, even to those out of Guyana. I know more than half, if not 3/4 of the population here in Guyana is listening to this program. On Facebook, a few weeks ago, the viewership used to attract 10,000-12,000 people. Friday night gone, it went to 27,000. It means, you know what, Josh? Something is happening. I went to a wedding Saturday and received some warm hugs, encouraging remarks and comments. It made me feel extra special. They were all begging me not to stop the program. They said, Glenn, if it wasn't for you, we would have not known anything as to what is taking place in this land. Hence, Joshua, I began with that word, gift. The greatest gift we can give to a human being, or any human being, is wisdom, knowledge. As for the welcome I received at the wedding house, thank you guys. Thank you. Thanks to all of you. Despite the music was playing loud, I saw the love and appreciation in your faces. Again, I just want to say thanks to all of you. But let me tell you, all of you this. This is not Lall and Lall fight alone. This fight is for you, your future, and future generations. And I want all of you to join in with me on this fight. Our lives, livelihood, and our future is at stake. Great danger lies ahead, and all our leaders are extremely silent. When last you hear a word from the 65 member parliaments you have sitting? Josh, you think cat gone with a tongue to some other tongue? Or they take it somewhere else? Josh? Miss Harris? A great future lies ahead of us. But we have to recognize the great danger on the road before we get there and fight to overcome that.
Yes.
Nobody wants poverty. Poverty is the worst thing on earth. Nothing. And I mean nothing is worse than when you can't feed your children properly, knowing that there is so much that belongs to you in front of your eyes, and sending your kids to bed with a hungry belly. If you guys know anything worse than that, could you let me know, Josh?
Yeah.
When you can't feed your children, when you have to send your children to bed hungry as a parent, do you know anything worse than that, Josh?
No.
Good. You can't buy medicine for the sick child. You can't buy a cheap slipper for their foot. You can't save $1. Tell me, what can be worse than that? I went twice to both North and South India. The poverty level I saw there. I told my staff when I came back, I don't want to go to Africa. Not after what I saw in India. I honestly believe hundreds of millions of people looking like me and you, Josh, going to bed with less than a meal a day. When I look how the Africans live and eat, when 4 years old, like my grandsons, are being put to sniff out the ore for the foreigners in that country, Africa. When I see the filth for salary they are paying these people, these children, 4 years, 7-year-old, to go down into those mining pits, 50 and 60 feet, it breaks my heart and my soul. That's the reason I don't want to go to Africa ever. What I'm reading and seeing on the TV is enough for me to stay right here and fight this fight to make sure that our people don't ever become like India and Africa. In America, they used to use birds, canaries. You guys know the canary birds.
Yeah.
To test, to see if there's poison down in the mine shafts, to get an early warning. If they don't fly up back, know the bird's dead and it's time for run away from there. That is what is happening to the children in Africa. The foreigners using them to work in the mines, to sift out the ore and other minerals from the earth within the mines. That's how the children become deformed. And in most cases, they make children with disabilities. Joshua,
Yeah.
Miss Harris, lack of understanding, lack of vision, greed and corruption by political elites lead countries and their peoples into that type of dilemma. Yes, with sicknesses, which leads to poverty. When you have greedy and selfish leaders, nations are left to eat mud and mud cakes. It's happening all over. Haiti, our brothers and sisters there, the country is a prime example. Keep your heads, keep your eyes, keep your brains ticking, people, for extreme danger is ahead of us in this land called Guyana. I am seeing it clearer than daylight, and I'm sure you're seeing it too. And who is responsible, Josh? Yes, this is not politics. It is your welfare, brothers and sisters. Your children. You can't love and protect politicians like Mr. Ali, Mr. Jagdeo, Mr. Granger, Mr. Harmon more than your own love for your children, man. These leaders are impoverishing you and your children. Poverty I'm talking about. This word poverty is the main reason for crime. That has been a proven fact throughout the history of mankind. When you don't have money, Joshua, I've told you guys this many times, when you don't have money in your pocket, a dog is better than you. A bird is better than you. A fish is a king in front of you. You are almost a garbage when you don't have money. Poverty is more deadly than any disease on earth. It is taking lives daily on earth more than this thing you call COVID-19. But very few people understands this. And I would like anybody to prove me wrong on it. Brothers and sisters, poverty creates sickness. Poverty gives you stress. It sends up your blood pressure. Poverty robs you of education. Poverty robs you of wisdom, experience, knowledge, health. Poverty makes you feel like the last class of human beings on earth. It makes you feel worthless. Guys, poverty leads to widespread hunger. And you know, Josh, they got a saying, a hungry man is an angry man. He will do anything to get himself out of that situation. Yes, to survive, to eat, to live, to be able to feed his children. If a person can't get work with a decent salary to give them, his family, a good life, to put food on his family table, they will accept bribe, Joshua. They will demand bribes, and they're going to come corrupt just to be able to live. Yes, and put food on their table. If not, they will steal. They will kill. Isn't this what's happening in Guyana already, man? Hmm?
Yeah.
When the leaders of your country can't negotiate a decent share of its wealth for their citizens to have a comfortable life with their own God-given wealth. Man, when foreigners can come and get your land, get your gold, get your oil, and you can't get your rightful royalties, when you can't get taxes from your own wealth that is constituted in the laws of this country. Man, what every citizen on earth pays according to their laws, then it's only one thing the citizens of this country can resort to, Josh. And that is crime. Crimes and criminal activities of all description and nature, just to put the basic things on their eating tables. That is food, man. Food I'm talking about. I've been warning Guyana since I started this program. If we don't get all these foreign contracts changed, then this crime situation will become a nightmare. It will get out of control. It has already started taking a toll on people's lives right across this country. I am sitting in a newsroom every day for the last 27 years. I have seen more than enough in this land. And let me say this, Josh. What is being reported in the media is not even 1/10 of the criminal activities that is taking place in this land. Basically, people don't report crimes anymore. They are so disgusted. Down to car hijacking, people not reporting. That's where Guyana is today. Every day, Kaieteur News and other news outfits are reporting some of the crimes that is taking place on the ordinary and decent citizens. You can't even hang your underwear outside, it's gone. Your bed sheet gone. Down to your garbage bin, the thief in these days. Man, every neighborhood right across Guyana can testify about what I'm talking about here. On Saturday, Joshua, we carried a story of a woman who was trailed by bandits from the bank in Diamond to her home in Golden Grove on the east bank of Demerara, where they attacked the woman. She put up a fight and they ended up firing a shot at her. Luckily, she wasn't hit by the bullet. They then robbed her of the cash she had just taken out of the bank along with her handbag. Then the bandits sped off in their car. The woman, Joshua, end play. She just reversed the car and took off behind them. When the bandits spotted her behind them, they fired shots at her. But she didn't give up the chase. She kept going and going like an Energizer battery until she get a chance to ram the bandits' car into the gutter. Man, you have to see how the bandits come out their car and run with their guns in their hand like little girls from that woman. People who witnessed the incident said they thought they were looking at a movie, how the thing happened. But the lady did not stop there, Joshua. She took off behind them and was able to slam one of them into a gutter. He couldn't move. I see a video clip of him in the gutter. He turned like the letter C, covered in mud. The police arrived, and he's still a patient at the hospital as I speak. The two of them was able to manage to escape. The woman was able to get back her handbag and the phone, not the cash. I want to applaud that woman for her bravery. Even though the bandits fired a shot at her, she still followed them to get back her money. Where is the courage to chase after leaders and show the world how criminal they are? Joshua, you know? Well, that's what I want to inculcate in the people of this country. To get up and let's fight them. They are all criminals. Man, it must not be me alone standing and speaking. You guys got to stand up too. I salute that woman. I wish our leaders can have the testicular apparatus shown by that fantastic lady. Somebody get your number for me, please. People of that caliber is Glenn Lall's type. Yep. The woman said, you ain't going away with me thing. And that is Glenn Lall. Yep. You know why, Josh? The lady worked just as hard as Glenn Lall. I worked very hard for what I own. I went to school without a slip on my foot until the age of 15. I sell on the streets of this country to earn what I have today. I never stole a cent from any human being, and I will not allow anyone to take my thing without a fight. I salute that woman again. Josh, that crime committed on that woman should never have happened. Had those men gotten their fair share of their wealth in this land that was given away to foreigners for free and next to nothing by some of our greedy, selfish, incompetent, and corrupt leaders, then people don't have to resort to criminality. Joshua, if we don't get this thing fixed and fixed quickly, you know what? Chicken, steak, and fancy wine ahead for you down the road. You understand what I'm saying, right? Once you understand. Imagine now you don't even have insurance to help you. So you're not only poor, dumb, blind, and stupid. You're now vulnerable. You're now vulnerable animals in the oil sector. Josh, what would a cat do if he see milk? Yes. Yes, he can take it all. Exxon is a cat, and all Guyana is the milk for them. We the citizens just getting the taste of the milk without any insurance for when the milk spill and destroy our carpet. How you replacing the carpet, Miss Harris? That's where Guyana is, vulnerable. My friends, we are all vulnerable people to be swallowed up. But you know, if we get insurance for the carpet, then you will be adequately compensated for it. Imagine every citizen is at risk of losing not only our carpets in the house, but our lives through disaster in the oil sector. And none of our leaders seems to care about you, me, or even themselves, because they themselves will suffer. Many countries and their people are suffering. I am tired of repeating this insurance issue, man. I'm tired. It has been a burning question, and Harman asked the government when he was one to correct it and did nothing. Now President Ali, Jagdeo and Harman can still come back and correct it, but it seems that Jagdeo tongue stick on to a man calling himself a journalist named Critic. And Harman find a new tongue, peace. He find a man named Adam Harris to sit down with him and ask frivolous and irrelevant questions in this oil-rich country called Guyana. Adam Harris didn't see it fit to ask Harman a single question pertaining to the sellout of Guyana by Harman and his government. Or Harman didn't find it relevant to speak on our resources. Maybe, just maybe that wasn't important to both of them. Beautiful Guyana this is. I love this country, but I'm ashamed to be a Guyanese. Lack of vision, Josh. Lack of foresight, Miss Harris. Greed and selfishness leads to poverty, and poverty leads to hunger and danger, crimes and more criminalities. Like the 7-year-old child in South Sudan who was walking to the next village where they had food, a feeding center. Her village had no food. She was spotted by an international photographer kneeling down, crouch up like a little animal at the side of the road, halfway to the feeding center. When the photographer took that photo of the child, a short distance away there was a sitting vulture, canny crow we just call it, waiting to eat her up. You guys remember that story, man, Josh?
Yeah.
4 months later, the photographer went back to the United States and committed suicide because the security people around him in South Sudan told him not to touch the child for fear of diseases the child was carrying it. Like I said earlier, Josh, poverty leads to hunger, and hunger leads to crime, and more crime.
Yeah.
And what you're hearing out of the mouths of your leaders,
Not wanting.
we can't change a one-sided contract. It's signed in stone. Must be them stone it's signed with, not mine. Because I know it can change. And I know it will have to change. It will have to change with your support, brothers and sisters. We join together, we can do it together, and we can make it together. That contract, let me repeat it, has a provision that says if both parties agree, the contract can change. And our leader is not even asking for a renegotiation. No, man, no. Let me say this loud and clear. Not under my dead body. I will live through not seeing that 2% filth of a contract doesn't change. Our brothers and sisters, Josh, should not have to cut cane to put food on their table, or planting rice for a living. Rice. That should be a side job that gives you exercise and fun. We people should not continue driving donkey carts to make a living. Our people, Josh, should not have to resort to hijacking, sticking up ordinary people for little food or a smoke. No, Josh. No, Miss Harris. All these foreign contracts have to change so that all of us can benefit from our thing and not have to rob them fruit vendors on the roadways. 3 fruit vendor at Prospect on the east bank of Demerara complained to me about 3 times now how they're tired of men pulling up with cars and robbing them with guns. I can't help feeling sorry for them. It is sad when you listen to them and look how tears running down their eyes. Old people selling fruits and vegetables on the roadside. And I have to go, I used to go there every morning because I have to turn right there and I will say hi and hello to them. I even pick up little fruits from them. So we became friends. And when these people stop me and tell me the thing, the only thing I can say, let's report it, that's all.
It makes you so angry.
They don't go to the station and report it. Miss Harris, even the parlor or the store, the dead, the bandits robbing these days. We carried a story just the other day.
Yeah.
They've been satisfied robbing the living. They're robbing the dead now. How bad we gone, eh?
There was somebody watching a post-mortem.
2 young men approached the clerk, going the funeral home, you know, approached the clerk and said, Auntie, I come to find out the price for a coffin. The lady was so busy, she sent them to another clerk. When the clerk get up to take them in the office, one of them turned back and jumped on the front desk, opened the drawer and snatched over $1 million, which the manager later said that the money was to pay them the salaries the afternoon. The 2 men then jump on a motorcycle and disappear. You want to hear more, Josh?
Yeah.
Then done robbing the funeral parlor and the staff. Now they're gone to the dead people relatives. Man, this is the richest oil producing country the world is talking about. Joshua, you sure is Guyana all these international oil experts talking about, or Ghana? Is this the country the World Bank, the IDB, and all them financial institutions say is the fastest growing economy on planet Earth? You sure? You sure it's Guyana they're talking about? You sure the Fortune 500 largest companies in the world coming to?
Yep.
Or are they? Man. You sure Bloomberg talking about Guyana or Ghana? Huh? Joshua, this is not a joke.
You know.
Many days when I read what's going on in this land, when I listen to Mr. Jagdeo, Mr. Harmon, Granger, and President Ali, I pinch myself just to make sure I am not in my bed sleeping and dreaming. And I am pretty much certain that many of you doing the same thing after listening to the show. Here what happened 2 days ago. Some relatives waiting for the doctor to finish the autopsy, the post-mortem on their dead relative at the funeral parlor. When the three men walk in with guns, stick them up and rob them of everything they had, down to the people's phone they carry away. I don't know if the money was to pay the funeral parlor for the dead. Them gone with all the money. This is what Guyana turned into. Soon they're going to rob the dead of the clothes they have on to.
Precisely.
This is the country where the world is saying how rich we are. Yes, the fastest growing economy in the world on books. On books. Not in reality.
Exactly.
Man, listen to this one and let me finish. We carry a story of a 67-year-old pensioner of Houstideren on the Essequibo coast. Who was tied up, beaten, robbed by two bandits in the wee hours Saturday morning. Them go in the man's house, tie him up, rob the house, carry away down to the $2,000 watch the man had on his hand, his cell phone, then ride away with the man's motorcycle, that was parked in his kitchen. Joshua wouldn't believe this one. One of the persons who robbed him was somebody known to him for more than 20 years.
Oh my goodness.
This is how desperate people has become in this land called Guyana. When people you know and trust can come and do that to you, you got to think where this country is heading. I am not certain. I am not certain if those people are hungry. It could be, it could not be. But they are scamps, they are crooks. Man, no way in the world you would go rob somebody that know you 20 years. Eh? Who does that? This is the desperation. This is desperation to the max, Joshua. Plus, you carry another man. You understand? Plus, you carry another man to rob the man. Man, I had to pinch myself when I read this story again, because I think I was dreaming. Then I see the police arrest a fisherman with 0.6 grams of cocaine, a spliff, in which the man said he was selling. He told the police that he was only carrying the illegal drug, trying to catch a day's work to carry home little food for his son. You hear me? The fishermen have been complaining that there's no fish, so there's no work. So they have to find a way how to carry home food for their children. You remember I told you guys, the fish they used to catch in 7 days, they don't get it in a whole month now, right? I said that before. When I hear about the fisherman and the fish, my mind clicks back to the AFC leader. How he spent a whole week talking to the Starbucks News about a fishing license issued to one of his brother. He went so far to say he will raise the fish license issue in Parliament. Yes. These morons doesn't see to raise the issue of the EPA license that is being granted to the oil companies in Parliament. He didn't see the wisdom to raise all those oil permits and the contracts to be debated in Parliament. That's not important to him. A fish license where there is no fish is important to him. Yes, the AFC leader. He can't see that the fishermen them now has to resort to something else to feed their families. He doesn't see it fit to have this subject matter raised in Parliament so that they can debate it and get the oil players to compensate the fishermen for their losses. No, that's not important to him. Let the men sell cocaine and go to prison and left their children to beg on the streets. For us to take care of them, me and you. A security guard and 2 other employees joined forces and robbed the embarrassment place of sardines, mackerel, and coconut milk. Just, you know, when the owner found out that the items were missing, he called the police. It's then he will find out that the security guard and 2 other workers stole the items. Sardines, coconut milk, mackerel, people thieving now. I finish? The maids, Joshua, the cooks, the helpers that are working in the domestic field are being robbed every day all over this country. And they're ashamed to even call the police. Down to a plastic bag with tennis rule, people riding around with motorcycle, driving cars and snatching it out their hands. This is the country that these chaps like Granger, Jagdeo, Ramatar, Sam Hines cultivated. And now President Ali in it. Have no vision, no class. They are not sound in their decision making. But they are proud to say they were president. And this is what your society has become. A crime-infested nation. Man, sometimes I'm ashamed. You gotta help me find some word. Rather than shame, being a Guyanese. This is Guyana. The second largest oil-producing country in the world. Has its citizens selling a spliff of cocaine to carry home food for the man's son. Miss Harris, this is Guyana where our policemen and women got to be asking you to left something. Left a towel or a Granger. You know the green note, Granger. To put food on their children's table. I know a couple of them well, policemen and women. Genuine policemen and women. Honest, but you know, not so honest. I just have to give them a little raise every now and again. Because the salary them taking home every month is nothing. Imagine when they come, I will be telling them this building got cameras all over. You're not afraid taking my money in front of camera? Some of them must tell me, Glenn, take all the money from your pocket come in front the camera and give me. I just have to smile and give them. You know why, Josh? Them genuinely need a backup for their families.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Genuinely need. Because the salary these people take home is pittance. Check the salary and you will see, man. Yes. This is the country in which all the big nations of this world have their citizens fetching out the public servants' wealth, the police, the soldier, the nurses, fetching out all these people's wealth, leaving them to beg on the streets for a towel or a Granger. Yes, Joshua, this is the second largest oil producing country in the world now. You go for a birth certificate, is a left something. You go for a passport or renew your passport, left something, please. You go to the wharves to clear a barrel. Man, every section want you left something. You go to any of the ministries to transact a business. Before you could talk, before you could open your mouth, you got to give them a lunch money. Go to NIS to process your claim. It's the same thing. You go to the office of the president. No. That is not the same thing. That's a different thing. You got to go there with a briefcase or a big brown paper bag. Now we're here to tell you to come with a black plastic bag. You know, Josh? Man, I would have been so ashamed to call myself a member of parliament in this country under this trend of this land. You see why I tell you, Josh, I'm ashamed to be a Guyanese, but I still love this country. These ordinary public servants, the police, soldiers, did not have to beg for a towel or a Granger to put a proper meal on their eating table. Had the leaders like Granger, Harman, Trotman, and now Jagdeo and Ali gotten our fair share, 50% and not 2% royalty, by now every citizen of this country should have been sharing towels and Granger to our Caribbean brothers and sisters every day. It's sad, guys. It's sad. Wake up and let's fight this fight together, please. I don't intend to have my grandchildren them live in poverty. And certainly I don't intend to have your grandchildren and great-grandchildren living that way too. Josh, what do you say? Everywhere you turn, everywhere you go, anything you want to get done from top to bottom in this country, you have to grease the wheel. And these leaders have no shame about that. And when you talk about things like this, man, they want to eat your head out. They want to throw a bomb at you. They come after you with every tool they have at their disposal. Just for you being honest, speaking the truth. I have been through over 27 years, a lot, and I'm still going through. But I don't tell you all some of them. The ones that I want to tell you all, that is what I'll let you guys know. Yesterday, a US friend asked me to share this story with Guyana. He knows the danger lurking around the corner of every village of this country and the entire region, just because of not having full cover insurance in this land. Hear what happened to Peru. A Peruvian woman, 47, said she would always remember June 22nd, 2014. She said it was a day that everything changed. She saw some black spots in the river and dead fish floating. Without knowing anything, it turned out to be the largest oil spill recorded in Peru.
Wow.
When the spill happened, the woman said there was nothing to eat. All the fishes and crops were contaminated. Here what the oil people then do after that, Josh. They hire some local people in the village to clean up and make them sign a gag order preventing them from speaking, from talking. You mustn't say nothing. While the entire community was left to starve. You guys doesn't know this, but it's relevant here in Guyana. It's already happening here. The few Guyanese working out there, I am told, had to sign a gag order, which they can't say nothing what's going on out there. I am told they can't even use their phones to take a photographs of the operations out there. Yes, it's so. It's true. Everything has to be kept under cover. Any recording has to be done by their eyes and eyes only, with sealed lips. You hear me? So you can't record nothing. You can't take a photograph. You doesn't see, you doesn't know anything. So if they have an oil spill out there, brothers and sisters, trust me, you can only know when it reached land at your seashore or your sea walls. That oil spill in Peru damaged all the waterways and the land around the area. It affected the entire community, from its food systems to the economy, the health, and the education. In 2016, the people did a study and confirmed that the residents had high levels of heavy metals such as mercury and cadmium in their bodies. Joshua, you know, since that oil spill, the people have been suffering from numerous problems. Illnesses, throat problems. They began becoming underweight, no weight. They become small. You better take note of that, Guyana. Over the weekend, I received calls and text message how people are worried that I have to pay $55 million to Winston Brassington and Donald Ramatar. I told them I will talk about it on Monday. Two of my sisters called me this morning, and they too are worried and stressed over the money I have to pay them two fellas. Let me make it clear to all of you. Glenn Lall have no stress whatsoever. I have no stress paying anybody for what we have said in the newspapers or what I have said about them. So now I am telling all of you, don't be worried. All will be well. It is in the hands of the Creator, not mine. And that is what I believe in my heart. He has moved away any feeling of stress and thoughts of fear. I did tell my sisters, girls, somebody has to speak. If all of us sit back like cowards, silent, what will become of this country called Guyana and its citizens? I did ask her, if you see people jumping your neighbor yard, fetching out their wealth, day come, day go, in which they will be depending on you to lend a helping hand, to give them food, what would you do? Would you remain quiet? Would you take the burden? What will be left for you? She then said, no, brother, I will speak out. So I told her, that is exactly what I am doing for all Guyana. I am safeguarding every one of you and your future grands and grandchildrens from all these foreign rapists that our leaders have here in this country. I know that some of you don't have the willpower, the courage to stand up now, but in time to come you will. You will join me. I know that for sure. When you receive the greatest gift, which is knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that I am sharing, you will join me. Trust me, you will join me to bring about this change. This morning, another case came up with Winston Brassington before the Honorable Justice Fidela Corbin. It was very interesting. I will share a bit of it on Wednesday with you. Don't stress yourself over me. Don't do that. Fidela Corbin. Can you feel, can you sense or see any stress in me? Josh? So, why are you guys stressing, man? Look, just have a laugh. Just have a laugh. Listen to this video. I had a good, healthy laugh on it. Josh, could you play that video for me, man? Play it for them.
Welcome to the Guyana Power and Light. Press 1 to report a fault, or if you know your party's extension, dial it now. The rest of our office is closed. Please hold for assistance. Thank you.
Morning, thank you for calling on phone like that.
Yeah, morning, boss. Pertaining to the power GPL and the West Bank, can I going to come on back?
On or before it, we got a shutdown at the moment.
Okay. You know, GPL got a lot of shutdown lately by a lot of tripping out and things. It will happen. I think we need to say a prayer. Cross your hands and close your eyes. Let me pray. Our Father, who art in heaven, please cast the devil out of GPL generators. Amen, Lord. Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hello, I crack up, I listen to the radio. I listened to this thing for over 5 times already. I had to crack up. I just had to crack up when I listened to this thing. Guys, just in case you didn't hear the gentleman's exact words. He rang and said, "Good morning, sir. Can you tell me," you rang GPL, "could you tell me when the power will come back on the West Bank?" The GPL officer said, "On or before 8 p.m. At the moment, we got a shutdown." The caller said, "All right. Now, GPL got a lot of shutdowns, a lot of tripping out. Here what's happening. I think we need to say a prayer. Clasp your hands and close your eyes. And let me pray. Our Father, who art in heaven, please cast the devil out of GPL generators. Amen, Lord." Thank you so much, sir. The GPL officer responded. I couldn't help it, you know, this guy helped this thing is sweet. Man, with that, I gotta go to bed, smiling or still laughing, and forget about any stress. You know, before I say good night, I want to tell all Guyana that the caller who said the prayer made a terrible mistake when he said, "Cast the devil out of GPL generators." The devil have to be cast out of the leaders of GPL, including that same man was sue me 19 times. He's one of the key figures that have GPL where it is today. It's true. He was the boss of GPL. You gotta cast the devil out of people like them and the leaders of this land, man. Not the generators. Generators are just a machine. You just start it, you change your oil and stuff like that. It's the people who running the institution you gotta cast the devil out of because they don't know what they're doing. It's a pack of morons.